Welcome to episode 3 of Ask the Fascia Masters. I just love this. When people ask those questions underneath our podcasts or our information, it's great to have the opportunity to share with you directly. Dylan asked the question about fascia decompression relating to trauma. Trauma can be one of these really debilitating things for many people because it literally locks us into that moment when it happened, and then we age from that moment going forward. And the fascia, because it's armoring us, it's really trying to protect us. It, though, ends up creating an alignment issue over time, which also supports pulling the energy down and further pushes it into the body. So with fascia decompression, what we're doing is we're giving the fascia the opportunity to release where those adhesions have been created, locking in that negative emotion. And by strengthening proper diaphragmatic breathing, using your breath as one of the facilitators to assist your body with this release. This is a process of over time because, of course, if this happened decades ago and you've been riddled with PTSD and other challenges, it's not like we go from 0 to 100 overnight. However, just want to share, in our membership, we actually have a 90-day trauma program, and it was really, really profound. In that program, every single week, we have also added additional insight from other trauma specialists to give you as much opportunity as you can to really understand your body and give you the tools that you need. Trauma can be a very scary thing for you, but if this is something that you want to dive into, we have definitely the program for you that can really assist you on your journey. Patty asks, if someone has a fracture, not only should they be adding heat and gentle massage to the area, but should they also take a collagen supplement? This is just my own personal perspective. I don't actually truly feel that taking supplements of collagen is going to give you any benefit. And the reason is because the collagen component of the fascia is what migrates away from balance when there is need in the body. That will happen if you're healing the way that we traditionally have healed in the past, where we're icing and we're limiting flow. But because you're adding energy into the system through gentle movement and heat. Now, of course, if you want additional support with a fracture, please reach out to us so we can give you proper guidance. The body and the understanding of how to address fascia will help the collagen to migrate back to correct alignment, and adding supplements in, again, just as my personal experience, I don't think it's a benefit. Someone's also asked if I can address varicose veins. I actually love this conversation because our community has so many people who have improved with the appearance of varicose veins. So the thing is, when we don't stand correctly, which none of us do, by the way, we're limiting some of the roadways in the body for flow. And when some of those roadways get blocked from adhesion and scar tissue, there's going to be a ballooning of the other roadways that have too much traffic. And then that's going to cause the varicose vein to be popping out and to lose elastability. By changing the alignment of your low body, you can change what's going on with the varicose veins. I'm going to be putting in this link below the video where I share moving the finger between the webbing of the toes. When you do that, combined with afterward gripping the toes on the ground for 10 full slow breaths, you start to repattern your lower body from the foundation up. This alone over time will make a difference, but if you want to dive in further, we have many in our community that can even talk to this. So if you'd like to, you can also join our private Facebook community, Block Therapy community, and you can ask specific questions, and you'll see some people who have actually had this experience and have gained much result. Someone asked a question, why when they take deep breaths do they start to feel dizzy? So I'm going to give you a little tip here. When we talk about conscious breathing, we want to make the exhalation the focus, not the inhalation. When we can exhale for a count longer than what we inhale, then we're actually increasing the carbon dioxide levels in the blood so that there's a currency exchange for the carbon dioxide as well as the oxygen. If you're really just focused on taking big, huge in-breaths, then you're going to be flooding your body with too much oxygen, and it's going to give you that dizzy feeling. It's really about understanding how to use the breath to your advantage, and the exhale truly is the key. Someone also asked if we specifically address hiatal hernias in our Block Therapy Starter Program, and in fact, yes, we do. We do talk about in that initial belly video, if you have hiatal hernia or if you're pregnant, for example, and you can't comfortably block on the belly, some variations that you can do. One of the most important areas to work, though, is this area right through here, like right at nipple height. This is where, when we are out of alignment with the weight of the rib cage crashing down into the abdomen, causing that hernia, or at least in part, this is going to be one of those major holding patterns for that. Whether you're using a rolled up towel or a block, when you lie on your side, right at this area where the shoulder blade glues to the ribs. This helps to bring your upper body up. As well, when you're walking, turn your palms forward so that we can actually also assist with the lift of that rib cage. And that's going to take major stress and pressure out of the abdomen so that you can start the healing process and then eventually work more directly in the abdomen if you are struggling with a hiatal hernia. Someone also asked if I could address scar tissue, and we actually did a podcast on scar tissue, and we'll place that link below. But also just to understand what scar tissue is and then how we can benefit it is hugely helpful. First of all, if you have a scar from an injury or a surgery, what's ultimately happened is there's a gap in the system, and if there's scar tissue, it's because all of that collagen in the surrounding tissue got dumped in to fill that gap. What we want to do with that is we want to put heat, energy, and intention into that scar. So with block therapy, you can use the block. You can also use the towel. So if you want to get the sampler program and give it a try, by all means, that will help. But also you can use your fingers. So for example, if I have a scar right here, I can just very slowly put pressure. Pressure over time does magic. It puts space and flow back into tissue. I'm not rubbing. I'm putting direct pressure. And then very slowly, you might even start to feel that you can torque your way in. Nothing in nature is a straight line, as is how scars and how we age. We want to spiral into the body in the same way that nature caused these things to form. So very slowly doing that over time, it's going to pump blood and life back into that scar so that you can bring space back in, and then you're going to help to navigate that. I did have a breast reduction. I learned how to release the scars from my rib cage using my hands first. So give this a try. And of course, if you want to dive in deeper, our block therapy system will be very helpful with that. Someone asked if fascia decompression would benefit alopecia, and I can absolutely say we have people in our community that have had benefit with alopecia using the system. It's really about understanding how to promote flow. Often alopecia comes when we've had a stressful event in our life. It affects the nervous system, it affects the breath, it affects the way the body sends energy to certain areas. And as the head up here is one of the furthest areas from the diaphragm, it's one of the areas that first will be impacted with stress. So by understanding how to really optimize proper diaphragmatic breathing, release the adhesions all through the body, but also specifically in this area, and then strengthen the tongue and also open up that rib cage properly by understanding how to support shoulder alignment, this is going to help to navigate your body to create that healing that's necessary and to get that blood and oxygen flow back to the areas that have been impacted. Definitely, if you want, you can reach out to our private Facebook community, Block Therapy Community, and ask questions specifically there. And you may have some people that are going to be answering that have actually had that specific issue resolved. Someone has asked if we can address polymyalgia, which essentially means pain throughout the body, with our block therapy program. And I'm emphatically going to say yes, we can, because really we have pain when we don't have proper breath. Proper breath creates more adhesions in the body, which lock us in these negative alignments, and then they create negative articulation in the joints throughout the body, which creates pain, inflammation, and all of these things, which really lock us in this pattern. Undoing the patterning of the body, of the fascia, by connecting to proper diaphragmatic breathing, we change the game literally. If you have pain riddled throughout the body, no matter what the diagnosis is, this system is going to be something very impactful at providing the opportunity to effectively clean and feed the cells. And as long as the cells are properly fed and clean, they function with ease. Dive in. And again, we do have a $9 starter program that you can give a try just to see if this makes sense for you. Someone has asked, what is the link between anxiety and high blood pressure and an increased heart rate? And really, it comes down to understanding the breath. When we are not breathing properly, our cells are not getting the most important nutrient, oxygen. The feeling of being anxious is really your cells giving you some information that we need more blood flow, or we need more nutrients, or more rest or hydration. It's really the language of the cell. Another thing, if we're not breathing properly and our heart is here and the aorta is here, we literally fall in, we collapse into the core space. So now I'm putting immense pressure and stress on the heart muscle itself, as well as that aorta, that tube running out of the heart to supply the body with blood. Now it's getting squeezed. So now the heart is going to have to work harder. When we release that patterning and we strengthen the diaphragm, now we are creating a proper foundation, as well as the space necessary so the heart doesn't have to overwork to do its job. Someone asked about a healing crisis that they had from doing one of our programs. Suddenly on day 24, she had full body pain, felt very congested, and was wondering if this is something that's normal to experience. And absolutely it is, because what we're really doing as we start melting the adhesions in the body and supporting proper diaphragmatic breathing, we are going deeper in the layers so that we can pull up the garbage, the toxins that have been stuck, even the negative emotions, to the surface so that the body can then remove them through the exhalation and through the other pathways of elimination. Typically, you're going to be going in this direction with your health, except it's not a straight line. There's going to be moments when you feel really great, and then there's going to be moments when your body has enough energy to push that deeper stuff to the surface. And that's when we feel it, and we might not feel well. Most importantly, you want to respect your limits. You want to rest. You want to hydrate. Also, you can do some other cleansing. There's so many different wonderful cleanses out there that you can do to assist this part of the process. Really, you're in detox mode right now. That's a wonderful thing, because when you're on the other side of it, there's going to be many gifts to come. Someone has shared that after many years of major trauma, they're having issues with fatty liver disease. So first of all, I just want to share it. When we have trauma in the life, whether physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or all of it together, what happens is the diaphragm locks. And it does this because the body's trying to protect itself. This whole area is very vulnerable. So when we have something impacting us negatively, we pull in to try to keep this area safe. But if we don't release that negative moment, like a deer who survives an attack who shakes, then we age from that moment going forward in a very different alignment. Breathing diaphragmatically is one of the key things to keeping a healthy liver. So your liver organ is right around here, and here's the diaphragm. When we inhale, it moves down. When we exhale, it lifts. When it's working properly, it's creating a massage for all of the organs in through here. It's also keeping the foundation of the weight of everything above correctly aligned. So when this muscle becomes weak and we breathe through the muscles of the upper chest, we fall into this space, and now there's no activity. So now this area becomes cold and frozen, and then the fats in the liver become solid. And this is why you're going to have struggles with really detoxing the body effectively. When we're blocking, what we're doing is we're doing a combination of integrating this movement combined with pressure over time. We have many positions where we block right on the liver, in and around this whole area, so that the combination of the external heat combined with the internal heating of turning on your body's furnace is very effective at melting through those frozen solid fats in the liver. One of the things that you're going to start to see in your body is the detox is going to be more effective. You're going to be able to manage your size and shape better as a result of this. And your skin is going to start looking better too, because of course, if we're clogged and toxic, it's going to come out in a number of ways in the body. Simply dive in, no matter what. Increasing your opportunity to breathe diaphragmatically is only going to be a positive for you long term. So please let me know if you have any other questions around this topic, and thank you for asking. This wraps up episode 3 of Ask the Fascia Masters questions. If I've missed anything, comment below and I will do my best to answer your questions in the next episode.